Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Troy City Hall. We're thrilled to be here today to recap the Turkey Trot. It was a great year. It was 2 weeks ago today that we ran the 105th anniversary running of the Troy Turkey Trot. I always mess that up. Despite the continuing challenges by the pandemic, we did run a very successful event. We did modify certain events a little bit to keep people separate, but there was a good field of runners. The conditions were great. The weather was great. And as I understand it, there were a good number of people cheering on the runners along the course, which the runners always appreciate. The Turkey Trot is more than just a foot race in the city of Troy. It's been going on so long, it's become part of our DNA. It's part of the celebration, part of what makes Troy great. It's an opportunity for people to come and join together before a holiday meal. Swap stories, people that have missed each other for the past 12 months. And it's just become a holiday tradition. So it was really nice this year to be able to do it again in person. It felt good to be there. I'm sure for the runners it felt great as well. I'd like to extend my gratitude to the Troy Police and Fire Departments, the EMS services, and DPW, which helped create this stellar event this year. We had 5,471 participants from 41 states and provinces and 7 different countries, including Sweden, the UK, Denmark, Turkey, and Germany. I'm not sure if they were related to you or not, but so I'd like to thank them for their participation, and thanks to Mother Nature. This was a very good event. The weather was just ideal, a very fast course. For those who were unable to attend, we do have a short video which will punch up on the screen here in a minute. Great video. The drone footage really added another element to it this year. I really liked it. It was terrific. And as you see, for anybody who's been to the Turkey Trot before, a lot of regulars were starting to come back. You saw some of the same costumes, the same individuals, the same runners. So people came back, which was great to see. We were a little below 2019 numbers, but we had a very respectable turnout given the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic. Thanksgiving is also a time for us to give thanks, and the runners and others who donated through the website showed their thanks by generously donating to our 2 primary sponsors of the event, the Regional Food Bank of Northeastern New York and Joseph's House and Shelter. The Trot also raised additional funds for smaller nonprofits who assisted in the race day activities. In total, over $25,321 is being distributed to charities and civic groups in the city of Troy from this activity. And I'd like to thank Kevin O'Connor and Molly Nichols. And I just want to thank Molly. This morning I worked at a food drive in Lansingburg, and it was the Regional Food Bank truck that pulled up and unloaded tons of food, and we gave out food to 500 families this morning. So they do real work. They make real change and create goodwill and comfort in our community. So we're delighted that these 2 organizations, that actually all of the nonprofits benefited from the race. So we look forward to another event in 22. We look forward to bigger numbers. We look forward to weather as good as it was this year. And so at this point, what I'd like to do is turn over the podium to the event director, George REGAN. George?
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. Yes, there is a lot of facets to this event, and it takes a lot of volunteers to, keep this event moving smoothly. I mean, literally, we're only here for a couple of hours, but we plan all year long for it. I want to thank Bobby Barnes for being our volunteer director. He got over 420 volunteers to help us this year, and we couldn't do it without those volunteers. And of course, the mayor mentions the city departments, and I see the deputy mayor, Monica Kalsanevsky's here, and I just want to thank her and the city departments for everything they do. I mean, literally, this event would not happen. Streets, DPW, fire, police, EMS services. We had nobody go to the hospital. There were no injuries, not even a stub toe. But there were a lot of happy, smiling faces. And you could really see that everybody was so happy to be back here with the smiles. And, there's a lot of pent-up demand for this event. So that was wonderful for me to see that. But there's Mayor mentioned the fact that, our two main charities being hunger and homelessness, very important, and I want to thank our registrants for, at the point of sale, for them donating to these organizations and us raising that kind of money for them. But there were 15 other civic and nonprofit organizations from in and around our community, and a couple of them are here today. And I just wanted to point out that North Central is here, and Teen Heroes is here. And Teen Heroes is a youth advocacy group based here in Troy. And new this year, LaSalle Institute, religion, athletics, and social clubs are, got how many? 21 volunteers for us. And then the CYO is here, represented by Kelly Forenzo, and they brought in 21 volunteers. So, without the support of this network of people, this event would never happen. So I'm just eternally grateful for that, and I thank you for your support and giving back to your community in this way. You can see how it really makes people happy. And of course, it takes money to put an event like this on, and our sponsors, Pioneer Bank, Capital Region Honda dealers, Lamar Advertising, William Fagan and Son. I thank them for their continued support right along, and we certainly appreciate that. So without further ado, I will introduce to you the CEO of Joseph's House and Shelter, Kevin O'Connor. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, George. It was a great event, and I've been running this for years. And every year I keep pace. I try to keep pace with the Buffalo Bill. I call him Buffalo Bill. He wears a buffalo hat with horns, and he has a big Buffalo Bill flag on the 5K. And every year I think, as long as I can keep up with him, I'm doing okay. This year I passed him, so I don't know if that says something good about me or something not about him. I'm not sure. It was a great event. I'm Kevin O'Connor, Director of Joseph's House and Shelter. We're honored again to be one of the charities, primary charities from the Troy Turkey Trot. What this does is helps us to talk about what the issue of homelessness is in our region, and particularly during COVID and all the challenges that occurred there. When everything was shutting down, Joseph's House expanded our services. We expanded our services by adding more hours to our street outreach program and more days. We're now 7 days a week here in Troy. We're also in Albany. We have 2 teams out in Albany County right now. We also expanded our rapid rehousing program, whose goal is to move people out of the shelter quicker. And we started a brand new program called Diversion. And Diversion's goal is to intercept folks before they become homeless, to work with them so they don't have to enter the shelter system, and we can provide alternative housing for them that's safe and affordable. So Both the money and the awareness. I want to thank Ed Parnham and his group, by the way. They did a great job with publicity this year, really reaching out and helping to send the message, Joseph's House and the Food Bank, how people can volunteer for us, how people can donate goods or donate monies to us. And the monies we received will be applied to all the services, the essential services that we provide to help end homelessness for those who need us. So again, I want to thank George and the whole committee, the mayor, and everybody involved that made this such a successful event again this year. And now I want to introduce Molly NICOL from the Regional Food Bank of Northeast New York.
Thank you, Kevin. And like Kevin, we are thrilled at the Regional Food Bank to be part of the Troy Turkey Trot. I'm Molly NICOL, I'm the CEO, and just like Joseph's House and Shelter, during the pandemic and still today, we've had to expand our services to meet the increasing need of those who are in hunger. And in the United States, we do not believe anyone should be hungry. We've expanded our services to include things like what the mayor participated in this morning, some of these drive-through pantries that get the food to those in need. And I will tell you, with the support of both the trotters and the sponsors of this event, we were able to provide close to 40,000 meals to people in need. That's an amazing impact in this area. So I can't thank you enough, all the people who are running, all of the partners that were involved in this. Ed, thank you for helping spread the word. Mayor, thank you for putting on a great event. And George, what a great pleasure it was to work with you. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Eli RABINOWITZ. He's the Vice President of Pioneer Bank.
Thanks, Molly. I appreciate that. Well, thank you for coming back. Good afternoon, everybody. As many of you may know, Pioneer was founded here in downtown Troy back in 1889. And, understanding the importance of giving back to the local community has provided considerable resources to ensure the health and well-being of its residents over our 130-plus year history. Today, Pioneer's motto of All Together Forward relates as much to helping individuals and companies achieve financial success as it does to ensuring prosperous communities in our capital region. Each year, Pioneer's Charitable Foundation supports hundreds of local nonprofit organizations through employee volunteering and financial assistance. Our mission is to help kids be kids by supporting organizations that provide crucial services to their children and their families. Each dollar, every dollar, donated to Pioneer's Charitable Foundation goes back into our community, as all the administrative costs are covered by Pioneer. Last year, that translated to more than $300,000 being distributed throughout the capital region. Over the last 25 years, Pioneer has proudly sponsored the Turkey Trot, which attracts runners and spectators to beautiful downtown Troy to enjoy a family-friendly holiday event. In addition to supporting this fantastic race, Pioneer realizes the immense impact this event has on the charities of choice, and we are thrilled to once again match the first $2,500 in race registration donations to the Regional Food Bank of Northeastern New York and Joseph's House and Shelter. Both of these organizations provide essential services to the most in need in our communities, and Pioneer could not be more thankful to their staff and their volunteers for their tireless efforts to help our neighbors. We also want to thank George REGAN, Mayor Madden, and the City of Troy, as well as all of the race participants for their efforts and donations year after year. On behalf of Pioneer, I'm proud to say that each of you embody Pioneer's spirit of All Together Forward. Thank you very much, and may you all have a safe and happy holiday season. And I'd like to now reintroduce Mayor Patrick Madden.
Thank you very much. So, I guess the moral of the story is it took a lot of people to make this happen, and that's what Troy is all about. We hear about the economy improving, we hear about a lot of jobs out there, but there are still a lot of people hurting, and we have stellar nonprofits in this community that serve those people. We have stellar foundations like the Pioneer Foundation that understand their civic responsibility and step up, and we did it at the Turkey Trot in a manner which created fun and camaraderie for many people well beyond the limits of our city. people came from, as I indicated earlier, far and wide to participate in this because it is so fun. And it is people in this room that made it fun and made that fun into a worthy return for our nonprofit community and those among us who are suffering. And as Eli mentioned, we have another holiday coming up. Don't let your generous spirit wane during the upcoming busy holiday season. Keep up the good work. Keep up your compassion. Keep up your participation in our city. And the goal for next year, this year we doled out more than 25,000 to nonprofits. I'm going to set the goal, George. Next year it's over 30. So we got to breach 30,000 next year. And I do believe we can do it. So thank you all. We'll talk soon. Thanks.